Hey GPNZ crew, Sam here from giantpumpkins.co.nz. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Now you might be wondering where I'm filming this. One of the flatmates has moved out, so we've got a spare room that helps to record things like this and have a little bit more space while everybody's still at home, stuck in lockdown. We're in level 3 lockdown here in the Waikato, so no work for anyone, no school, probably for another 2 weeks, probably. In the last video, I was sort of talking about getting those seedlings ready, and part of that was hardening them off. And I've had them outside. It's worked out quite well. There's a lot of shade on the deck, and slowly I've been introducing them to the sun. Now we haven't had many sunny days since then, so that's been okay. We have had a lot of wind, so these seedlings are getting a little bit hammered with the wind, but that's okay. That'll be helping to strengthen them up a little bit. The first step will be going up to the tiny patch and just pulling out any random weeds. To be honest, I haven't really gone up there and had a look at what's going on, but from the distance, it looks good. So let's go check that out. Pretty good, not too many weeds there. I'm quite liking it. It was sort of a no dig type situation for that. I quite like doing that. It means that the soil is building up its own microorganisms and things like that, which will be beneficial to the plant. Well, that's my thinking. The two biggest concerns that I have right now that I can think of, one will be the wind. Initially didn't think it was a very windy location, but after being here more than 6 months, it definitely does get hammered with the wind out the back. So I'm going to have to make sure I keep that in mind. And the second thing that I have to think about is slugs and snails. I've seen a few snails about, and you know that they make an appearance to eat anything that you're growing. Any new foliage could potentially be munched. Now you don't want that in a giant pumpkin situation. For the wind situation, I've got this pop-up plant protection tube thing. I found it at Bunnings. It was on a shelf without a price tag. I can't even find it on the website from memory. I think it was about $18. It has a top that zips off completely, or a little hood that you can open to help regulate the temperature so your plant doesn't cook. I'll probably have it with the top completely off because I'm using it for wind. The plant should be fine. I do need to make sure I anchor it really well. I would have loved to have got a whole bunch more big tent pegs or something like that, but for now I might just have to try and bury it or dig it into the ground. For slugs and snails, I'm just going to use this box of pellets that I've got from previous years. I don't have to go out and try and get it. I don't have any pets, I don't have any small children accessing the area. I'm not too worried about that. So this works well for me, I'm okay with it. I know there are many other ways of trying to control them. There's some natural ways, cheap and free. There's other products. You know, do your research. There's a whole bunch out there. I've actually got a blog post talking about that in the past. If you want to read that, the link will be right about here, or it'll be in the show notes. So check that out. The most important part of this whole process, I feel, and it's something I'm always telling people when they are picking up seedlings from me, is the direction that the plant is going to grow in. This is really important if you've got a very small area. It's also important if you have multiple plants growing back to back. It's important to make sure the plant grows where you want it to. Otherwise, you're going to have to try and train that vine, which can take time. There's potential risk of breaking that vine, and you don't want to do that. When you get a seedling, you have to work out what is the first true leaf. Now, the first two are the little leaves that are contained with the seed. They don't do anything, they're a waste of space. But the next leaf is the first true leaf, and then the one after that is the main vine, and it'll grow opposite that first true leaf in the direction that you face it. It's very important that you work that out. Now here I've got some more mature giant seedlings, so this is where you would look to see, try and work it out. As you can see, this is the way it's going to go. And with the little seedling, the one I've got here that I want to transplant, it's a little bit more easy to work out because there's only 3 leaves basically to look at, and you can see the start of the next one. So there we go. Make sure you know what's happening there. If you get stuck, make sure to get in touch. For transplanting itself, I'm going to be digging up a little mound of dirt, piling it up. It won't have to be too major, just a little mound should do. The thinking was, and I've mentioned this in the past, was to help prevent any problems with frost. I think we're well past that, touch wood. And the other thing is to have water drain away and not pull into where the seedling is growing, because a wet seedling or constantly wet roots, probably not too good for that plant. So I'm going to do that. I'll dig a little hole. I'm going to chuck some more myco in there. I've got some old stuff that's left over. I didn't buy any new stuff. I'm not needing that. Don't want to spend that money. I don't know if it's going to be any good, to be honest. We'll see. But hey, give it a go. Why not? The plant will be watered really well, and initially it's going to be getting some seaweed liquid fertilizer and some fertilizer that's higher in nitrogen more than anything else. That nitrogen will help with vine growth, leaf growth, and overall plant growth when it's putting the roots down. So there we go, Transplanting 2022 in Tiny Patch 2.0. I think I have covered everything. If I haven't, hit me up, let me know, ask me a question, I'll see what I can do. From here, I will be just monitoring the plant, making sure it doesn't get eaten, doesn't get broken by the wind, and then it'll be a whole bunch of vine management and figuring out the best way of doing all of that. If you like the sound of this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Down below, follow along, check out giantpumpkins.co.nz. I've got the blog, I've got a whole bunch of other things there. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. I want to hear how your season's going, so let me know. Until next time, I'm Sam from giantpumpkins.co.nz. Thanks for watching.